want to start off by saying I'm not a professional really at anything. I don't have any qualifications really to be giving anyone advice. And I'm not here to give advice, to be honest. My goal is to really just tell my story and try to find somewhat of a community of like-minded people to have an open conversation with, because I know I struggle to find people. I struggle to find people that really feel like my people, which is funny because I live in a big city, but sometimes that makes it feel even more difficult. This video is about how to be a man in 2025, and this is not me telling you how to be a man by any means. And maybe you're a woman watching this, and maybe that's good, because I think it's really difficult to categorize yourself these days. And I don't think being a man should mean what it used to mean in the 80s. Sure, it was cool to be rugged and smoke cigarettes and have a nice car. And there's a fantasy of like what is a man supposed to be? The lumberjack, the fucking Tom Selleck, like that was like the ideal man. And I think there was a lot of cool parts about that, but I think there was also a lot of not cool parts about that. And I think it came with a lot of like pushing down emotions, maybe not being vulnerable. Donald Draper type, the quiet man with a lot of difficult feelings that he doesn't know what to do with other than be shitty. I think that's a very bad part about the history of manlyhood. I mean, aside from pretty much everything else, men were off to a bad start from the beginning. So it's difficult in a lot of ways to kind of come back from that, but I think we're trying to. I think if there are guys out there like me, I'm really trying to be different and be a good man, and even not knowing really what that means anymore or what it should mean. There are things that men are good at and they should be proud of. And I think that might be different for every man. And I think there are also things that men shouldn't be proud of. And I think that's just the reality of it. One thing I know that's been difficult for me and a lot of people is stepping out of the way for women to have their chance and to not let your ego get hurt because maybe your partner or a woman in your life is more successful than you. I think that's hard for some men to deal with. I think, if I'm being honest, I've had challenges with that too in my life. And to give you a kind of a backstory on who I am and what I've been through, I'm 26. I grew up in Georgia, born and raised. I went to college. I got a degree in acting, which maybe wasn't a great decision, but at the time that was the only thing I could really see myself studying for 4 years. So I did that. Pursued that for a while, decided to start a detailing business because I wasn't really making any money acting at all, and I needed something flexible to help pay the bills. So I figured, hey, I like cars, I'm pretty good at cleaning up my own car, why don't I try and do this? And I made a successful business out of it for a period of time. It lasted about 3 years. I had at one point a business that was doing well, and now it's really not. I think the election year, the economy overall, I think just a combination of things has really made it difficult for luxury-based services that aren't essential to thrive, really, because people are struggling to make money right now, including myself. It's just not easy. You can't just go get a job at a grocery store and make enough to buy a house and provide for a family. That's like just not the way things work anymore. I had a business that failed. In the meantime, my girlfriend is a personal trainer, and she's in the process of opening a gym and starting a brick and mortar business, which I couldn't even do myself because that was too scary of an investment for me to get a physical location where I had to pay rent whether I was making money or not. And to see her take that on so fearlessly and like to see her just go in fully to that when it was something I couldn't even do myself. Sure, it pokes at the ego a little bit, the man ego. It makes you think like, fuck, like, why couldn't I do that? But at the same time, I'm like, fuck yeah, like, she should do that. She should do that, and I shouldn't let that affect how I feel about myself at all. And that shouldn't affect my ability to root for her. I think that is what fucks up relationships so much, is that, like, it's so hard to root for the other person when you're not doing well. And I think that's shitty. I want to be able to root for my partner no matter what. And I think that's how it should be for women in general. We should be rooting for women as men, and also working on ourselves and rooting for ourselves and each other. Why does it have to be one, either or? Why can't we both be standing side by side working towards the same goals, helping each other out? I don't know. This is just me thinking out loud. I want to start a conversation. I'm not saying anything is black or white. I don't know anything. I'm 26, like, I'm still trying to figure shit out. I go to therapy. I'm on antidepressants. I certainly don't have shit figured out. From what I've heard from everyone else, you never really do have it figured out. So I'm just trying to figure out how to be in the moment, how to enjoy my days and not just waste time. And that's where I'm at. I think we as men have to reinvent what that means. And maybe it doesn't mean anything. But I think the construct of what a man should be has really been embedded into culture, and it's really hard to escape it, but I think we're getting there. So yeah, this is just me talking at you, trying to be a little vulnerable to hopefully spark something in you to just maybe think a little differently, or like comment something. I want to talk about it. I think we need to talk about it. I don't think it's very clear what men's purpose is right now. And maybe we can figure that out together, because I think a lot of men are struggling to see women be so successful right now. And I think that sucks, because we shouldn't be feeling bad about ourselves because women are more successful. That should be a motivator. Like, fuck yeah, we can both do this. I want someone on my level. The thing I love about my girlfriend is, like, we can both operate at the same level, if not even her more than me. And that just amps me up to do better. It's not a competition, but it's a motivator. And I think that's cool. And I think we should maybe look for relationships more like that, as opposed to having this power dynamic. Because I think that invites a lot of problems. It brings back in that kind of old way of thinking, Anyway, I'm going to start making these because to be honest, I need an outlet, and I need a community. And I don't want to be afraid to say that. So if you agree, subscribe, start a conversation with me. Cheers.